What's going on, everyone? Protopon here, back with another Pokemon type tier list. Today we're taking on the almighty Dragon type, one of the strongest types in the game, and I think it's just about time that we went over them. This probably won't be too long of a video, considering that there aren't all that many dragons. I mean, considerably, there's a lot of dragons as of now these days, but they're nowhere near the amount that other typings are, just because dragons are so scarce in the game. So that's what we're going to be doing today, guys. Let's get into it. Alright, for any newcomers to my tier list, here are my 3 basic rules that I use. First, we're just going off of design here. We're not talking about competitive capabilities. We're going off of usually final evolutions in a line. Usually is what we're going off of, unless I really, really like a pre-evo more so than the final evo. Outliers do tend to happen. And finally, anything that we rank in A tier to D tier will be in order of how I like them. And S tier, we're going to just throw things up there, and then at the end of the video, we'll rearrange S tier. So with that out of the way, we've got our first Pokemon here, the Alolan Executor. I don't know why. I like the grass dragon typing, as far as it being, I think, the first one that they gave that typing pair. I just don't like why they decided to make him have just a very long neck and call that dragon typing, but to each his own. I think it's a C tier design regardless. Moving on, the first original pseudo legendary Dragonite. Technical disclosure here, I do like Dragonair a little bit better. I like the serpentine look a lot more than Dragonite here, but seeing how it's the first pseudo legendary, we gotta have him be represented in this tier list as the dragon typing, for he is the first final evolution to a dragon. B tier is perfectly fine. I like Dragonite perfectly fine. I just usually I'm not going to gravitate towards him too much in a playthrough. Even if, like, in Gen 1, like, I'm not going to even go for a dragon typing in Gen 1, like original games. So moving on, we have Kingdra. Kingdra is the well-needed evolution to Seadra and is an S tier in my design, or in my opinion, I should say. First dragon water type, and I think they nailed it well. I think Kingdra was the perfect fit for this. Apart from all of us knowing that, honestly, Gyarados should have been the first water dragon, but I think that might have been a little bit too busted in Gen 1, even though some people have looked it over otherwise, and it really wouldn't have been that great in all honesty. But moving on, we have Walking Wake, the remake to Suicune. I think this is probably the better out of the 3 remakes. I gotta say he's definitely B tier, I think. Like, it's an interesting enough design, I guess, so I think that's fair enough. The remake to Entei is not it. Let's just get both of these up here. We've already covered Raging Bolt in my electric tier list. I don't think the dragon typing makes him look any cooler here. Obviously, he still looks more like an electric type, but these designs are just not it. I do say they're at least a little bit more interesting to look at than the Executor, so I'll put them in front of them like that. Flygon is definitely one of my favorite dragons that you can easily access in games that it appears in, but I'm going to have to go with a high A tier design here. Definitely deserves it. Altaria is definitely a B tier. I like Altaria perfectly fine. I know his stat line kind of holds him back, but design-wise, I like the whole dragon in a cloud kind of vibe. So I think slightly higher than Dragonite. I think just because you can access Swablu so much quicker and easier than a Dratini in a game, so I'll give it that. Salamence, and we might as well grab Roaring Moon here. Salamence is a solid S tier both ways. I like the Dragon Dark typing better, but I like original Salamance's design. It's so much more classic. It's just, I like it better overall. But both of these are solid Pokemon regardless. They're both, obviously Salamence is pseudo-legendary. I don't know if you technically consider the remakes pseudos in the games, but if somebody wants to enlighten me on that, go for it. Moving on, we have Latios and Latias. Some people say they're overrated in design. Some people think their designs aren't that great, but I really like them a lot. I like the whole sleek jet look. Psychic typing as a secondary typing is, I guess it's still fitting. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, Psychic still in Gen 3 was still considered one of the strongest typings, so they slapped two really strong typings together, but I don't know, I think they could have went a different way with them, but I think Dragon flying with these would have worked, but obviously they saved that typing for Rayquaza here. Now, as much as I think Rayquaza is very overrated, I mean, he's very strong, we get it. I get it. A lot of people just put him as their favorite dragon ever, and I don't think he's that great in design as far as S tiers go. He's still going to land his way in S tier for me because I do like the Serpentine Dragon look, and there's very few of them in the game, with obviously Dratini and Dragonair really only being the only other two that I can think of. But Rayquaza, however you want to say it, still deserves the S tier for design, so it's going to lead him there, and obviously Shiny Rayquaza goes really hard, so. Moving on, we have arguably probably the best pseudo-legendary as far as competitive goes in Garchomp. I really wish Flygon, as a lot of people have said over the years, should have been the first dragon bug type. Don't know why they went down that route. You know, with Trapinch, it could have easily been bug ground, and then the ground evolved into dragon typing, because Vibrava is very bug-like. They're all very bug-like. But Garchomp here, just one generation after, copying the whole dragon ground, still really solid design. I can't say that he's S tier for me. He's up there. I like Flygon a little bit better, so I'll put them next to each other. Dialga here. If you see my Steel type tier list, Dialga solidly landed him in the S tier, as is he's going to do so, at least for his normal form in this tier. His secondary form, I'm actually going to use to split off the Garchomp from the Flygon, and Palkia here, what is going on with my mouse? There we go. Palkia and his remake, honestly, like his, you could probably interchange these. When Diamond and Pearl first came out, just going off of the box art, I thought Palkia looked cooler, but over the years, Dialga has grown on me significantly more. So I'm going to say A tiers for both of them. These could honestly be interchanged, but I do slightly like the whole like medieval knight horse look to this. A little bit more than the Palkia. The Dialga still looks cool, kind of like some retro form of him, but I think the high A tiers, I still think I like Flygon better just because you can access him and use him as a dragon type in more games than you can Dialga and Palkia. But moving on, Giratina, if you haven't seen the ghost type tier list, go check it out, but spoilers, S tier for Giratina. Obviously Giratina has two forms of what he can look like. I always like this look way more just because, again, more of a serpentine type dragon look. Again, we're not really rearranging S tier yet, but just for space sake, I need to bump him over. But yeah, Giratina, solid. Haxorus, especially shiny Haxorus, solid. S tier for me, for sure. Love this guy. Used him as my starter in a playthrough of Shield. Really solid line. Akshu's cute. Even, what is it? Fracture is a solid design. But Haxorus, absolutely amazing. The only problem that I think a lot of people will agree with is that they either should have gave him pseudo status and pseudo stats, because he has the same exact growth rate as pseudos do. And he typically evolves, in some cases, I think a little bit later than some of the pseudos. So it's either they needed to give him pseudo status and pseudo stats at the end of his evolutionary line, or they could have given him a slightly faster growth rate so that way he could grow faster and evolve into his final form faster than the pseudos. That's just my take on it. I think some people would actually agree with that. I know I watched somebody who did a video who said the exact same thing, and I completely agree with it. Druddigon is next. Druddigon is a D tier. I really don't have much to say about this thing. It just looks weird. It just looks weird. I don't really have much more to say than that. Hydreigon, an amazing dark dragon, and Hydra at that. Hydras are really cool. S tier easily. I really don't have to say too much more on it. Go check out the dark type tier list. I'm pretty sure I probably delved into that a little bit more. Just a sad thing of his evolution taking forever to get to his final stage. But next is Reshiram. Reshiram is a solid B tier in my opinion. I think it's a little bit overrated as far as its design goes. I mean, it's a good Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but I think a high B tier for him for sure. Zekrom, electric type tier list, go check it out. A tier, top of A tier for this list at least for now. Don't have much to say on him. It's just really cool. The first electric dragon, absolutely done phenomenally well. They really nailed it. Kyurem, I don't remember exactly where I placed them in my ice type tier list, but seeing how some of these designs vary from tier list to tier list, I'm pretty sure it landed him in B tier before. It's gonna get landed in B tier yet again. I think that's fair. It's alright. Dragalge is very underrated, very underused. I'm gonna definitely throw him in the B tier, towards the top of B tier for sure. We'll put him right here next to Reshiram. There we go. All right, moving on. Tyrantrum, A tier, absolute A tier. Rock type tier list. I mean, he's really cool for rock typing as well, but honestly, a dinosaur dragon, dinosaur looking dragon, really sweet. I think they did this design very well. Definitely deserves A tier status for sure. Goodras, Hisuian, and normal. I'm gonna have to land it in C tier. I'm pretty sure that's where this landed in my steel type tier list. I think normal Goodra just looks better. Obviously, the Hisuian form adding the steel type probably made it obviously more defensively better, but design-wise, I think top of C tier is perfectly fine for them. Noivern is an amazing Wyvern, and I'm gonna throw him up into S tier because that's where he belongs. Because he's a solid design. He is literally a bat dragon. They should have actually made him dark type over flying type in my opinion, because obviously bats fly at night. Dark typing I feel like would have been more fitting. Nevertheless, absolute solid design. Can't say much more than that. Zygarde and the best form of Zygarde here. Definitely fitting of B tier. that fits together quite well. That's funny. Yeah, let's go with that. I think I don't really have too much to say about Zygarde, other than this is his best looking form out of the 3 that he has, and it's definitely B tier worthy. The other one's probably more C tier worthy, so I went with the better one. Turtonator is B tier because I think it's better than the Walking Wake in design. The only thing that I think holds Turtonator back from being a little bit higher in B tier is his head just looks goofy to me, so it is what it is. Drampa is probably going to be... I don't know. It was C tier last time in the normal type tier list, but I need stuff to fill out D tier here, and he's a very derpy looking dragon all around. I'd rather prefer derpy over just looks weird though, so. Kamo-O is next. Kamo-O as a pseudo-legendary, kinda weirder looking for pseudo-legendary. Honestly, maybe the top is C tier for him, and maybe he'll be the gatekeeper to B tier going forward for me. I don't know, I mean, he's a solid Pokemon, but I think his design just could have been slightly better. Yeah. Anyway, moving on, Guzzlord. A tier. I don't remember where I put him in the dark tier. He might have ended up as S tier, but as a dragon typing, he looks more dark typing. So I'll knock him down to A tier, wherever he might have been last time. I think that's fair. Now we've got, of course, Necrozma in this form, at least. It's a very divine-looking dragon. I'll put him up into A tier as well. I think I like Guzzlord better, though. But anyway. Alright, moving on. I think I'd put Naganadel in probably S tier for my poison typing. He still looks cool as a dragon type, but for this tier list, I think he's going to get dropped to A tier. Right here. I think that's fair. Moving on, Flapple, Appleton, and the remake from Gen 9, which I think is Hydrapple. Hydrapple is sick. Like, again, it's a Hydra, but it's only like a one-headed Hydra. Flapple, to me, is B tier. I think I like it better than Turtonator. Kyurem. Flapple is just really cute. I'm gonna move these guys down. No, I'm gonna put Flapple here, Kyurem here, Hydrapple here. I know Hydrapple is really good as far as the 3 of them goes competitively. Appleton, honestly, is C tier for me. They can sit at the bottom. That's fine. Moving on, we have Dracozolt and Arctivish, or what is it? Dracovish, right? Dracovish, pretty sure. Yeah, Dracovish and Arctizolt from Sword and Shield. I don't really have much to say about them. We'll start moving these guys down. Design-wise, I just think that's fair. I like this better. This always just looked weird to me, guys. I know Dracovish is the best one out of the 4 competitively. Water Dragon, again, really solid typing. Just a really solid Mon, but design-wise, I just thought he was honestly one of the weakest ones out of those fossils that you could get, so. Moving on, we have Archaludon, right? The evolved form, Archaludon or Archaludon, however you want to say it. The evolved form of Duraludon, and this is definitely still A tier in this tier as it was in the Steel type tier list. I'll put him here at 3 from the top of A. I really do like those designs. Dragapult is still S tier. Another, okay, technically he's kind of Serpentine. He's not fully Serpentine, but Dragon Ghost, love Ghost typing, just solid Pokemon all around. This is probably the most S tier filled that we've ever been, by the way. Water is probably going to be the thing that beats it, but Eternatus, Poison typing, I forget exactly where he was. Definitely looks more dragon-like than that, but I think right there in between Dragonite and Zygarde. I do like it. And Poison typing, I don't know if it really helps it. I think they could have done a different typing for Eternatus, really. But Poison's fine. Reggie Draco. Interesting, and to say the least. I'm gonna say C tier for him, probably. Is where that should be for my list. I think that's fine. I think that's fair. Not much to say on him. Cyclizar, I know I put him in like A tier for the normal typing. As a dragon typing tier list, I think I can bump him probably down to B tier. Just because there's so many better looking dragons. I'll put him here. So he's fallen quite a lot from the normal type tier list, but just as a dragon, there's just too many more that stand out. But he is, I still think, a very solid design for something simple. This thing, Tatsugiri, I know he's strong. This is not a dragon, guys. This is a fish on rice. He deserves D tier, okay? Get over it. So water dragon, at least they gave him a water typing. This is not a dragon, guys. It is a fish. Baxcalibur, we're almost done. Baxcalibur, solid. Obviously, the ice type tier list. I forget exactly where he was. As far as dragons go, I still like Garchomp better, but I definitely think I like Baxcalibur more than the rest of these guys design-wise, so I'm going to land him there in A tier. And finally, I had to put them on their sides, but how did I do that? Oh no, I just rotated them like this. Ha! Yeah, Miraidon and Koraidon, guys. Obviously, if you have seen my electric type tier list, Miraidon definitely deserves, even in this this one, A tier status. I still think Zekrom is the better looking electric dragon. I think I still like Flygon better just because, again, accessibility. But Miraidon is still a very good, solid design. I'm going to say third from top of A. I know this is looking very cluttered, guys. I'm trying my best here. Koraidon, I guess a lot of people argue is better. Again, I've never played Scarlet or Violet. I guess competitively, I guess he's better. But design-wise, I mean, he's still a solid design. what is he? He's dragon fighting, I believe. Yeah. Definitely cooler than this dragon fighting here. Definitely A tier worthy. I'm gonna say slightly cooler than Garchomp. Can I do that to Garchomp? No, you know what? I don't think I can. I'm gonna take it back. Garchomp is still slightly cooler. He is a shark after all. Koraidon can go right there in front of Baxcalibur. I think that's perfectly fair. Now that we've gotten all of the dragons out of the way, guys, let's work on that S tier lineup. And first and foremost, Salamence, since his release, has been my favorite dragon design, and that still holds true. This is really hard, guys. This is really hard for me, but I think, funny enough, the Noivern as something that's not a pseudo-legendary, it's probably going to take slot 2. Then my beloved original water dragon, Johto representative, Kingdra is going to be 3rd. Those are my top 3. I'm just going to go straight for it and get that out of the way. This is going to get hard from here, guys. Probably Hydreigon next. Dark is my favorite secondary type to throw on a Pokemon. From there, probably Dragapult, because ghost typing is my second favorite primary typing overall. But you know what? Okay, to be fair, Giratina is also the same, and Giratina is just better. Giratina is going to find its way at number 5. Then we can do Dragapult. From there, we can do Latios and Latias. I do like Latias just a little bit more. Hold on, I'm trying to fix this so that we can see him better. From there, Haxorus. Rayquaza, because Serpentine Dragons, Dialga, and Roaring Moon, I think. Again, Roaring Moon's just like Salamence. I think, again, the typing of Roaring Moon is definitely better than Salamence, but the clean design that is normal Salamence just takes the cake for me. But Roaring Moon is definitely going to be the gatekeeper to the S tier ranking. And guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed the content and you've made it this far, be sure to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel and you've obviously made it to this point, consider subscribing. Obviously, you like the content. It would mean the world to me if you did. I'd be very appreciative if you did. But anyway, guys, I think I've taken up enough time of yours today, so until next time, guys, stay safe out there, take care. I'm Protopon. Peace.